So I need to address one of the more interesting rumors that are going around right now in the community. To the 30% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button, find in your heart to please smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Now, there's a strange active working theory going around right now with Blaster, the Dragon Ruler of Fire. Now, I don't know. Everything is usually a rumor until obviously confirmed real, but this is very interesting because there's two layers to this. There's a supposed rumor going around that it is floating around from like Duel Links. They're going to bring it back for like the huge anniversary. I haven't heard much about that, but that's where I'm starting to see more and more of this supposedly come from, which, okay, sure. I mean, I could agree with that, but they just did a ban list, and we're already like in the 1 year anniversary block. So that part doesn't make any sense to me, but what do I know? Konami surprises me. Then we have the Pyro Duelist pack coming out here. Now, this is where things become a little bit more believable. There was the inclusion in that particular set, so we're getting an upgrade or a special version of a card. Now, when you typically hear, Duelist Pack Fire, you look at Blaster as, the go-to, because generic fire card, you can bring it back. Yeah, you can discard another fire in itself to, pop something. But I could actually see it being included in here and the possibility for it to come back. But the other half of this is like, they want to test run this in Master Duel, but that once again doesn't make sense because the product would have been designed much further in advance and that they'd already been planning to bring back Blaster. But my question is like, why is Blaster still locked up? Like, I can tell you a majority of Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to have the same opinion I do, and they're going to look at Blaster and they're going to go, yeah, this could be at 1, and we don't even care. Like, if Tempest is running around, that's fine. You get into the danger zone with Redox and on a sub-note, title, but like if you're really scared of a 2800 fire monster that can randomly discard 2 cards and pop something, there are far worse, more powerful cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh right now. And I think if you're going through and making this elaborate show just to try to bring Blaster back, I feel like that is not really the thing. But I want to bring everybody up to speed because other people have been, digging into this rumor. I've already seen Blasters disappearing off of the market. Like, this is like no big stranger thing. If anything, I'm perplexed at how stupid that this actually looks at the end of the day. But the Yu-Gi-Oh community, they get any shred of particular thing, and it doesn't matter like how, I guess, legit something seems at the end of the day. Now, I could believe this is just strictly based off of, looking at the Duelist pack, Fire Duelist pack, a ban list coming out. You'd want to produce something in that Duelist pack that would be kind of cool and, definitely make people smile. I'd be fine with that. But this whole stupid Master Duel thing that I keep reading about on Reddit, I don't know, man. That part, I think, is the biggest wild nutshell out of this. But, I don't know. We'll see. But having a second Dragon Ruler legal, ooh, spooky. Tempest isn't even doing anything right now. And if you're worried about the little Blaster disc card to put this out, the only reason that they'd have to be even remotely scared of this, the only thing that would even make me question any sort of particulars with this would be the fact that Blaster is in fact the strongest Dragon Ruler with his base stats. That would be the only thing that would make me scared, or would make me seem scared about this. Because when you look at Blaster's overall stats, you're like, oh, a 2800 monster that you can bring back from the graveyard, oh, that's really scary. Like, we don't have a lot of... 2800's not that strong. I'm sorry to tell you that. Like, at the end of the day, it's not. Well, what about if I want to, what about the, no. Everything about this is perfectly fine. All right? If you were really worried about banishing 2 fire monsters from the graveyard to special summon it, stop. All right? That's not a big deal at all. Like I said, I fail to understand why. Obviously, there's always going to be cards that we're going to look at that we're going to be like, why is this still banned? Like, I think Master Plan could have came back a long time ago to 1, and we wouldn't have had an issue. But, Konami likes to dilly-dally around. Same thing with, you could have put Zen Mighty to 1 at this point. But it would be kind of cool seeing the Pyro Duels pack to see Blaster get an upgrade to kind of put him up on a pedestal, you know, kind of, you know, dance around him, be like, hey, yo, it's been like 10 years, my guy. You know, you can finally come back here and actually do the thing. Actually, it will be 10 years. That's actually kind of crazy to think about. Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy was was actually in May of 2023. So probably by about the time that everything would be said and done at this point, this would be the 10-year anniversary of the Dragon Rulers. Tempest is going to have a literal field day with this. So, do you believe whatever legitimacy is lurking around with these rumors? Do you think that we could see Blaster come back? It also doesn't make any sense because the TCG just had a ban list. But I don't know, man. We also don't know everything else about the 25th anniversary. The 25th anniversary has been shrouded in so many illusions, you know, and if Blaster is the go-to goat of the block, I don't know how I feel about that, because that just feels like a massive waste at the end. But maybe once we do this, maybe we can bring title back. Ooh, imagine 3 Dragon Rulers being legal at the same time. I do think Redox should never come back in the entire history of the game, because I think that is the most broken one. And I think, once again, things get a little bit shady with Tempest because of the water cost interactions with Mermail. But to be fair, Mermail hasn't done anything in literally so long. Well, Robbie, you just topped a more localized event out here. Yeah, you can top locals all the time. It's doing okay in the OCG because they have the new Ice Jade that makes that level 10 like play that actually is kind of cool. Now that's an interaction that definitely you want to see with things like that, but having a monster like the Dragon Rulers that can revive themselves and not really do anything. I don't even care if Blaster is a level 7. Level 7s at this point in time deserve all the cool support that they get. Looks at Kashtira, by the way. Not like they're going to actually play Blaster or any of the Dragon Rulers in that deck, but like, Konami needs to cut the umbilical cord with being fearful of some of these cards and the overall interactions that they bring to the table. Because you just made Tier Elements the craziest archetype in the entire game. I don't even care. It far surpassed all expectations and like power in the game. I think at this point in time, cutting back and letting Blaster come back and be the poster child for, you know, the block, sure, let it happen. But what do you guys think? Do you think that there's some sort of legitimacy, or do you just think that Blaster's been rumored to come back for years, but it's Yu-Gi-Oh! You guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.